Coming up next on BG24 News.
Community members came together to help those in need.
Safety is a top priority for Perrysburg schools. Find out how they're keeping it that way. We have these stories in your Black Swamp weather forecast. This is your campus and community connection.
Wood County's live local news starts right now. This is BG24 News, live at 5:30.
Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Gemma Schultz.
And I'm Danielle Griffith. In breaking news tonight, a rolled over semi accident is calling both lanes for I-475 to close this evening.
This occurred around 3 o'clock near the airport highway. Passerby pictures indicate the car hit by the semi is badly smashed.
State highway patrols and emergency crews are currently responding to the crash. We'll have all the additional details on our Twitter and Facebook pages. Now to start off in good news tonight.
That's right, various community organizations came together to help homeless people yesterday. Project Homeless Connect was at St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Bowling Green. Volunteers helped unemployed people sign up for jobs. They also gave away clothing items like socks and shirts. Kids from Bowling Green schools collected glue bottles and books. Volunteers helped more than 200 people, but for one organizer, the program was personal.
My own family, my own daughter was a recipient of services today, and so people are just having a hard time and getting connected with services they need. Separately, we can't do a thing, or very little, but together, we're knocking it out of the park.
Organizers began working on the event in May. Project Homeless Connect exists nationally, but this was the first time in Wood County.
A BGSU fraternity is also combating homelessness this week. Reporter Dominique Hicks says the brothers feel fortunate for what they have.
The men of Alpha Tau Omega have taken over the University Oval in an effort to raise awareness about homelessness.
You know, there are different other forms of homelessness, not just, without a home. People are moving, just don't have a home, moving from friend's couch to couch, just pretty much to raise awareness and do as much as we can.
This is the second year the fraternity has put on this type of philanthropy to help raise money for the St. Thomas More University Parish and Newman Center in Bowling Green.
I think we have 5 to 6 guys here every night living outside of boxes, so we're all here as much as we can,
Rain or shine, these men have camped out for nearly 96 hours. They say living outside has really shown them how fortunate they are.
Thank you.
It's a little insane because it's really cold, and last night it was pouring rain all night. So really it's just made me really thankful for what I actually have and my own bed that I can sleep in.
ATO says the goal is to outraise last year's funds of about $1,000.
It's kind of surprising all the students that walk by and give out so much money right from their pocket, because students aren't the richest people in general anyway.
Thanks to the people who have donated. We greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you guys out here again.
Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Dominique Hicks.
The men of Alpha Tau Omega will finish out their week of sleeping on the streets tonight around 8 o'clock. They'll still be accepting donations until then.
Now, because of fall break, many students were away for the National Coming Out Day last week. That's why organizations are celebrating this week. The Office of Multicultural Affairs has events throughout this week. Students created a unity chain outside of the Union Oval. They wrote their names and sexualities on a strip of paper. Now on Saturday night, there's a not-so-straight skate out at the Ice Arena. They can use this week to celebrate culture, awareness, and knowledge. And organizers say that the LGBT people rarely celebrate themselves.
Rather than just have that one day where we sort of, increase visibility, step out the closet, or, come out, we have a week's worth of events.
And all these events are student ran by organizations like Vision, Hue, and Women Who Love Women. All full schedules and events can be checked out on our Facebook page.
The search for a new Health and Human Services Dean is down to 3 finalists. This has been an ongoing decision all year for BGSU, and now the finalists are giving open forums to help the school decide. Dr. Mary Huff spoke yesterday in Olskamp Hall. She stressed that diversity at the university will help students succeed. Dr. Huff is the second candidate to speak. The final candidate, Dr. Neil Chumbler, will give his next week. Evaluation forms for each candidate are available at the link on your screen.
A weekend in College Town can be messy for college students and community members alike, but the City of Bowling Green City Council wants to bring the two parties together to keep the city clean. The initiative will help volunteers pick up trash around the city. City Councilman Dan Gordon wants to eliminate the hostilities some permanent residents have towards students.
I'm really excited that so many people are willing to come together, work together, and enhance our community.
Gordon says the campaign will be implemented by the end of the semester, and he hopes this attempt will be more successful than the previous ones.
The shoe collecting teenager is back. Eric Hansen, also known as Eco Eric, is overseeing a new shoe collection. Campus groups like Common Reading and Campus Sustainability are helping him with this new project. Eric visited BGSU last year to promote his campaign. Hansen collects the shoes to recycle into playground surfaces, athletic surfaces, and installation. The donation boxes are located at the Union and Jerome Library, as well as the Wood County Public Library. Email greenbg@bgsu.edu for more information.
And now let's get a look at our first look at the Black Swamp weather forecast.
So we've definitely been, last week at this time we were experiencing temperatures in the low 70s. So this week is definitely a change. Right now we're sitting at about 50 degrees. It feels like 45 out there. So if you're heading out, definitely go grab a jacket. Stay tuned for a full look though at your Black Swamp weather forecast.
Still to come, find out how Bowling Green police are citing drivers who text behind the wheel.
Perrysburg schools are adding police in every building, and we'll tell you why.
And later, find out the age of one of the oldest undergrads here at BGSU. Stay with us.
Perrysburg Schools is currently the largest school system in Northwest Ohio without resource officers, but that may soon change. Perrysburg Schools is considering bringing police officers in hallways. Officers could mainly stay in the high schools and junior highs, but could be accessible to the elementary school as well. Now, before the officers can officially work, City Council must pass the proposal in their budget. Once passed, the school system will also vote. Perrysburg School Superintendent Tom Hosler says the officers will create a more comfortable environment for the students.
You know, we have a great relationship with our police chief and the police department, and you know, we think that this will just build upon that strong relationship, and I think there's just a tremendous amount of good that can come from it.
Perrysburg residents say the district needs to be more equipped for dangerous situations. They have the overall positive reaction to the resource officers.
One of the oldest homes in Wood County is being spared the wrecking ball. A decision from ODOT to build a retaining wall will save the Grand Rapids home. The nearly 2-century-old house would have been torn down to move a portion of Route 65. This would prevent erosion and save the road from falling into the Maumee River. Homeowner Dorinda Shelley lobbied against ODOT to save her home. An ODOT spokesperson says the construction of the wall will begin in 2015.
Now, the ban on texting while driving was put into place in 2010, but only a few drivers have been cited.
BG police have been cracking down on the law prohibiting usage of an electronic device while driving. Deputy Chief Hetrick says that officers are out on patrol more and looking for the violation.
We enforce the state law regulations prohibiting that. And those are pretty simple. It's a primary offense if you're under the age of 18, which means if you're driving and you're using any electronic device, GPS, computer, tablet, cell phone, anything like that, that's prohibited under the law. And we can stop you if we see you doing that.
Despite police concerns, some students say there are times it's safe to text in the car.
Yes, like if the car's not moving, as long as you're watching when the lights turns green or something, I think it's fine because I do that sometimes. That's like when I prefer to text.
It's really dangerous. I try not to do it except when I'm at like a stoplight or a stop sign.
But Hetrick says texting at any point in the car is extremely dangerous, but 47% admit to doing it anyway. Hetrick says he has seen it happen.
And it's unfortunate. I walked downtown and just to observe at a stoplight, I counted one day 7 out of 12 drivers were on a device texting at the stoplight. So people are doing it even though the law says you're not supposed to do that. It is very hazardous, and we address it when we find it.
A simple decision as turning your phone off and putting it away before you get in the car will help prevent getting pulled over or even in an accident. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Alexis Cook.
A ticket for texting while driving can cost up to $150.
The General Motors plant in Toledo is changing. They're installing solar arrays in order to go green. This is phase 3 of the plant's project. Phase 1 and 2 are already generating power. The arrays are about 80,000 square feet, just bigger than the average football field. There will be 3 of these panels on the roof. This is the largest project of its kind in the area.
Coming up next, David Bamili is one of our oldest undergrads at BGSU. We'll tell you why he decided to come back to school.
Plus, we'll have a look at the Falcon sports with BG24 Sports. Don't go away.
Now, Wood County's live local forecast with BG24 Black Swamp weather.
Good evening, Wood County. I'm Heather Pauloff here with your Black Swamp weather forecast. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now, we're sitting at about 50 degrees under a cloudy sky. With those winds coming out of the west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, it actually feels like 45 degrees out there. For tonight's forecast, we're dipping down to the lower 40s with those showers that were moving through the area earlier today. Those will be moving out by 7 o'clock tonight. The chance of rain diminishing as the evening progresses. Those winds continue out of the west at 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow's forecast, we'll be rising up to the low 60s with sunny conditions, a great change from what we experienced today. The chance of rain just 10%, so don't expect to have to take out your umbrella tomorrow. Those winds continuing from the west a little bit stronger tomorrow, 10 to 20 miles per hour. For tomorrow night's forecast, we'll be dipping down to 40 degrees, a little bit chilly. Mostly cloudy skies. Chance of rain still really low, just 20%. Those winds continuing from the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at our national weather now, we see that system that brought us all that rain today that's moving out of the area. Behind that, we'll be seeing some sunny skies, maybe just a few patchy clouds. But behind that, we do see another system coming in that'll bring us a chance of rain on Saturday. And as you can see right now, those showers and storms, just a few rumbles of thunder, nothing severe anyway. Moving out of the area, we do see a spotty showers just over Fort Wayne. Don't expect any accumulations from those showers as they move through. Taking a look at our temperatures now, we see about 50 degrees here in the Toledo area, 54 down by Columbus, and 53 just south of Cleveland and Sandusky, which are closer to the lake. And for the 5-day forecast, we see 62 degrees Saturday, that chance of rain on Sunday. However, the sun comes out for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And we see those temperatures rising up a little bit, 58 degrees Monday, Tuesday 55, but those temperatures definitely more like fall, better than what we saw last week anyway with those 70s. And the weather is just going to be absolutely beautiful this weekend to go and enjoy those fall colors while they last.
Yeah, definitely looks like the fall weather is here to stay, the chill.
Yes, it is.
Nearly 2 weeks after deliberation in Congress, the government shutdown is over. Congress has approved a bill to reopen the government and avoid defaulting on loans. Late last night, President Obama signed a measure into law and reopened the federal government. The White House Budget Office has already ordered federal employees back to work this morning. The measure will restore the funding for government through January 15th and extend the nation's borrowing authority to February the 7th.
After the break, we're going to take a look at BG24 Sports. What can we expect, Katie?
Well, thanks, Gemma. The Buckeyes came to Bowling Green Tuesday night. We'll see how that matchup in hockey turned out. And we'll also take a look at what weekend sports we have coming up. All that and more when we return.
It's unFalcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome to BG24 Sports. I'm your host, Katie Wernke. The Falcon hockey team fought a hard battle to the end against Ohio State University Tuesday night. The Buckeyes put 3 goals on the board early, but BGSU made the comeback win, driving in 4 unanswered goals in the second and third period to end it 4-3. Sophomore goalie Tommy Burke stopped 25 of 28 attempts at the net, while sophomore Ben Murphy scored 2 of the Falcons' 4 goals. The team now sits at 1-1-1 and will host Colgate University this weekend. Now, there was some Falcon action last night as men's soccer hit the field in a non-conference matchup against Cleveland State University. Ending scoreless in regulation time, the teams took it all the way to double OT, where the Vikings were able to hit the net and take the win. The Falcons now drop to 3-6-4 on the season. It was also a big night for women's volleyball as they traveled to Rochester, Michigan to face Oakland University. Bowling Green swept the Golden Grizzlies in 3 sets, improving their record to 9-9. Lindsay Butterfield and Kelsey Bates contributed to the successful offense with 11 kills each. BGSU has won 4 out of their last 5 matches and look to keep the trend going as they take on some MAC competition this weekend. Well, there is another action-packed weekend for Falcon Athletics. Staying home is the ice hockey team as they host Colgate University. They compete this Friday and Saturday with both matches set to start at 7:07. BG is looking to hold their own while leading scorer Ryan Carpenter is out with a wrist injury. Women's volleyball will take on MAC rival Eastern Michigan on Friday night at 5 as well. On Saturday, men's rugby will play at Deutsch Perry Stadium as the Falcons host the NIU Huskies at 1. Then the volleyball team will be back on the court as they dig for the cure. The team's annual fundraiser is Saturday night at the Stroh, where the Falcons face Central Michigan at 5 p.m. And traveling this weekend is the women's soccer team on Friday as they head to New York to take on Buffalo and then to Akron on Sunday. The Falcons still looking to snag that first victory of the season. And lastly, men's soccer takes the field on Saturday. The Falcons will make the trip down to North Carolina to take on Davidson. That's a busy weekend for the Falcons, and as always, we will have those results and recaps for you on Monday. Well, that is all we have for BG24 Sports today. Until next time, I'm Katie Warnke. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Students typically see a variety of students in their classroom as an undergrad, but one student may stand out to you. Reporter Madeline Finney tells us about a student, David Bomalai, and tells them why there may be something a little different about him.
Typically, most students begin their college careers at age 18, but not all. Meet Dave Bomelli, a student who's far from typical. Bomelli is 59 years old and recently began his freshman year this fall at BGSU. In classes with students who are young enough to be his children, Bomelli definitely stands out.
Well, obviously when I walk into a class, I'm a lot older than anybody else in there. In my psychology class, we were talking about memory, and the professor was asking how many kids could remember back to the age of 3, 4, 5, and I spoke up and said 40, and the class roared.
Though there is a large age gap between Bomelli and his classmates, he is still engaged with other students.
The people who I do interact with are great. They're gracious. I enjoy being around them. They ask me for my notes, ask me my perspective on things.
While he may not appear to be a student at first glance, Bomelli's work ethic proves otherwise. He dedicates about 60 hours a week to studying alone, but the lengthy study sessions are critical. Bomelli suffered a brain injury while serving in the military in 1973, making it harder for him to retain information while reading. Despite the obstacles, Bomelli has not missed a single beat or class.
I'm excited about going to class, which is something I never was. But I went into this balls to the wall. I want to make something out of this, and I don't want to disappoint myself. And I'm happy where I'm at right now.
Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Madeline Fenning.
Bomelli is pursuing a degree in forensic science, but for now he says he's just trying to get through those midterms.
We've got a last look at your Black Swamp weather forecast with Heather before we go. Heather?
So for tonight, we'll be dropping down into the 40s, and it'll be really cold. Definitely a change from what we experienced last week with those temperatures in the 70s and the lows only dipping down to the 60s. So definitely time to grab those sweaters and those jackets. It'll be a great weekend, though, to check out some of those sporting events. Might be a little rainy on Saturday for the rugby game, but maybe you could go inside and enjoy some of the other sporting events that are taking place.
That's for sure.
Very, very chilly weekend ahead.
Check out these stories and more online at bg24news.org.
And on our social network, facebookpage.com/BG24News. Plus, you can tweet us at twitter.com/BG24News.
Have a good night, everyone.